In our tutoring center, we staff over 50 teachers with tutoring clients, and I myself have tutored for over 10 years. This is how to structure and set up your tutoring sessions for parents to come back time and time again, and also for the students to have great academic gains. These are going to be 5 practical tips of how we set up our sessions, and then also different ways of application based on their age and grade level. Hi, I'm Rebecca Beard. I own Niceville Tutoring, which we cover subjects K through 12 with an emphasis on test prep. We have over 45 teachers on staff who support students online and in person. If you're looking for some support, we have our link in the description below, and don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date with study tips and tricks. So your first tip is going to be simple. It's rapport building. No kid wants to learn from someone they don't like. This varies based on age. If they're younger, you can always play a game, ask about their favorite pet, ask about how their week's going, anything like that. That's always really good. Now, with the older ones, you have to strategically do this slightly differently. The way I do this with my older kids is, one, I find out what they're interested in. 2, I find out in general like how their week is going. 3, I try to plug in something about what's going on around the town. If I know that they are a football player, I'm going to talk about the game that just happened and maybe how it went bad or how it went well. If they are a girl, then I'm going to talk about maybe like homecoming coming up or something like that, because I want to go ahead and establish that rapport time and time again. And each time that I see them, I'm going to ask them a new strategic question, or I'm going to find out something new about them, and I'm going to share just a little bit about me, but making sure the focus is on them. Number 2 is I am going to recap last week's or last session. So what that means for little guys is it's going to be very short and simple. It'll be like, hey, we worked on these letters, we worked on reading the word cat or whatever. This is what we're going to work on today. Now, with my older kids, what we're going to do is we're going to be like, hey, just to remind myself and to confirm this was what we worked on last time, and we are going to go from there. And then I also strategically ask my older kids, what do you want to get out of this session? Or is there anything that you are really struggling with in this particular topic? It is really important to ask them those questions, especially as they get older, because then they will feel more bought in. Instead of me just steamrolling and running the session the way that I think it should go, I want them to have a piece of value and to be able to drive and pivot it in the right direction. Step number 3 is going to be the meat of the session. It's going to be teaching your phonics. It's going to be helping with a math problem. It's going to be working on the practice material if you're studying for the SAT. No matter what, number 3 is going to be the bulk of the time. It's obviously the most important, but it's working and dialoguing with that student on really just re-teaching those skills. What this can look like for my test prep kids is I'm going to be pulling practice material. We're going to be doing some guided and some independent. With the younger guys, it's kind of same thing though. You're working on some guided practice, you're doing some independent, and sometimes the kids in the middle, you're trying to find all the missing homework that is shoved down to the bottom of the backpack and making sure that they get those in and get organized. But most of your time is focused on that and just making sure it's as meaningful as possible. But what is really key to remember is that you should not be talking this entire time, no matter the age. They have to have time to use their own brain, even if it's only a 30-minute session. If you are just telling them what they need to know the entire time, then they're going to feel like they're drinking from a fire hose and honestly just leave frustrated. Then number 4 is a recap. It doesn't take long, but if you spend about 1 minute discussing what you guys covered today and then discussing any takeaways for that kid to know. For little kids, it's really simple. We just say, hey, you did so good on this today, and I'm so proud of you, and I can't wait to see you again. For the older kids, it's like, hey, we covered XYZ. Please turn in your math homework tomorrow. I put it here, I put a star by it, and you go from there. Or if it's test prep students, you're like, this is your homework. I wrote it down. Please have this done next time. That recap only takes 1 to 2 minutes, but does a lot in the end. And then number 5, that many people forget, but it's very simple, is having that parent relationship. For the little guys, I always suggest going to talking to the parent for just like a minute about what you worked on, talk about the wins, maybe talk about the challenges, but make sure the wins are included. For my older students, I don't always talk to the parent every single time after the session, but what really helps is to send a voice memo to those parents, be like, hey, this is our goals, this is what we worked on, and I look forward to seeing them next time. Or, hey, this is what they're struggling with, this is what they need to work on at home. But no matter what, you are building that long-term relationship. The biggest pitfalls that I see is actually coming to number 5, where I get the most parent complaints, is honestly tutors not building the relationship with the parents. We always focus on the kids, of course, but if you have no relationship with the parent, then they're not going to keep coming back. If you find these tips helpful, please let us know in the comments, and good luck tutoring, and I hope you are able to grow and scale a profitable tutoring business. See you next time.